connect here. Alright, I don't need Bluetooth, I just need the Wi-Fi. Maybe we need to back up some. Let's back up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Here we go. We're back. I think. Had to back up. Almost lost the Wi-Fi. Lost everything on my computer screen. Let's get it. Bring on the haters, bring on the skeptics, bring on the people that don't believe in AMC. Oh, it's the worst. Adam Aaron's the worst. He sold 40 million shares. Yeah, well, pretty much every other squeeze that's ever happened, they sold shares too. They all sell shares. AMC stock, what's gonna happen? I've set out to showcase the increasing stature and power of the retail investor through the lens of the extraordinary trading of GameStop stock back in 2021 through good times and tough times. AMC Entertainment has been on a journey together with retail these past several years. Sometimes glad, sometimes mad. Your enthusiasm and passion should never be underestimated. The rise of retail, the democratization of Wall Street is a story for the ages. That's coming from Adam Aaron. Couldn't be. He's the evil guy, remember? He's the guy that's against us. What kills me about AMC investors and GME investors, you have like two sides. You have one side and then you have the other side. And if you don't believe in the company, then why are you even in the conversation? If you have nothing but negative stuff to say because you've lost money, well, everybody's lost money. It's always something negative, and you see it. Like the YouTubers that have been negative about it, that now they're talking, oh, 40 million shares. He sold 40 million shares today. Well, we were green today. What do you instant gratification for you guys? Well, it took Volkswagen 2 years, more than 2 years for them to get that squeeze. It takes a long time. It doesn't just happen, oh, because it didn't happen last year, or, well, 2 years ago, blah, 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 blah. That's all it is just negativity. Everybody's so negative. Like, they have nothing positive to say about AMC, and it's always want to sue each other, and you guys want to finger point at each other and blame each other, and everybody knows more than each other, when back in the day, it was just buy, hold, and everybody had DD, everybody had something to say. Now, it doesn't matter what you have to say. If it's not what everybody else is saying, what the majority of people are saying, it's FUD, it's fake, it's not real. Like, that's why we'll never get a squeeze the way everybody's acting, because we can't all agree on something. You can't even hold a protest. But you'll believe, like, YouTubers making videos about Disney buying out AMC. That is ludicrous. That's insane. They can't even figure out their own parks. Why would they buy a movie theater chain? Everybody thinks they have the right idea, the right opinion, and that they know more than the next person. and everybody has the same amount, the same voice, the same amounts to the same opinion. Whoa, that looks cool. I'm using the dawn filter at dawn. Whoop. I love the barking dogs next door. It really makes it seem more peaceful out here. And this is the thing about like AMC is that everybody has an opinion, but they only want to be with the masses. They only want to voice their opinion with the masses. They don't actually want to build a community. And we're gonna make it, bros. The squeeze is here. Don't compare my company to yours. Yours has more debt. Oh yeah, we've heard that story before. If it's not being negative about AMC because whatever reason, like I don't get it. You guys won't call it out. Like if you're being negative about the stock, you have an ultimatum. You either lost money or you're not in it, or you're in it but it's such a small amount that you don't believe in the company anymore. That's for sure. You're not positive about the company in any way. Then you have an ultimatum. Be it personal, financial, whatever it is. That's what I believe. Too many people are negative about AMC. It's way undervalued. It's way oversold. And that's just the fact of the matter. But people will make you believe that, oh, it's going back down to $5. It's, oh, it's green today. Oh, well, that's just because it's, you know, that's just how it happens. It has to bounce back a little bit, but it'll go back down. It'll go back down. Oh, okay. All right. Well, what if it doesn't? You're gonna have an answer for that too, won't you? Yeah, of course they will. They'll talk about more shares, synthetic shares, and listen. There's corruption. There's no doubt. There's manipulation. There's no doubt. But the fact of the matter is, the stock's going back up, and they will tell you everything in the world other than that. Oh, they're gonna sell more shares. Volkswagen sold shares at the height of their squeeze twice. That's what I don't understand. People pretend like the economy's doing good right now. The economy is horrible. Normal people do not have money to invest. Normal people have lost a ton on AMC. That's why 90% of them are negative about AMC. They've either lost money, they have some type of ultimatum, they're not for the stock, they don't believe in the stock. I get it. I've lost money and, been negative on stocks before too. But brighter days are ahead for AMC. That's just my opinion. What's up, the lion? What's up, y'all? Just having a beer. This was the last beer I have in the fridge. Having a beer, having a little smoke. To be honest, my story is I've just seen a lot of shills, a lot of people that are saying anything negative that they can say about the stock. You made a lot of money on Doge and AMC, so I only spend 3K on the stock market. That's a good strategy. See, that's also one of my points is that everybody has a different strategy, everybody has a different opinion, and everybody has a different viewpoint about where we're at right now in the market. Everybody's got a different idea on different stocks of what the price should and shouldn't be. And I just now started buying back into Dogecoin. Actually bought some Dogecoin last night when it went under 0.006 or whatever. Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. The economy is not doing good right now. Like, the SPY was down today. There's a lot of stocks that should be up that are down, but there's also a lot of stocks that are up that should be not that high. So, I mean, there's a correction in the market and it happens all the time. That's just my viewpoint on where we're at. The esports are getting affected by it from the crypto. I think that when you look at the market, people look at it like it's ups and downs. I look at it like they're letting a little bit of pressure off here and because they need more pressure over here. So they let a little bit off of the meme stocks. Almost all your meme stocks were up today, but they applied a little bit more pressure to the crypto and they, you know, but overall, I mean, most stuff is down. Yeah, the money issue, like everybody knows that there's going to be a bubble soon. There's no doubt. There's going to be a bubble here soon that's going to pop. One of these bubbles is going to pop. But you can't hide the fact that AMC is one of the most undervalued stocks in the stock market and the most manipulated stock and the most hated stock. Like, it's crazy what's going on in the AMC community right now because it's almost like it's AMC against GME, and it shouldn't be that way. Before, it was grab your shares, hold your shares. If you can get into another stock or whatever, great. You're helping this community, and that community's helping this community, and we were all for everybody. Had something to say, but now it's like everybody's got a pitchfork. Everybody knows more than the next person, and it's if you talk good about AMC, if you talk about it going up and having a green day, oh, that's just today. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. No, it is something, bro. It is something. Every day is something. Every day we get closer to something big happening. That's what I believe. I don't know what it's gonna be. Oh, your friend's getting laid off back and forth. That's crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people, it's hard to get work right now. They're either not working. It's hard for everybody right now. Imagine how hard it is for AMC. Like, I made a video, you guys can go back and check. I made a video today about the debt because everybody wants to bring up AMC's debt. Well, I hate to break it to you, but McDonald's is one of the most in-debt companies that there is. You think McDonald's is going bankrupt just because they make a fraction of their debt? They're 59, 60 billion dollars in debt. They only make a fraction of that. You think McDonald's is going into debt? No. So everybody thinks AMC is going into debt or going bankrupt because they have all this debt. Well, I hate to break it to you. Starbucks, a lot of your favorite biggest corporations out there have a lot more debt than revenue. And that's just the truth. And the only reason it's a big deal right now is because of high interest rates. Well, I hate to break it to you, but high interest rates aren't going to stay high forever. It's just, this is the squeeze. We're getting squeezed right now. And then as soon as the interest rates go down, because there has to be a correction, there has to be a bubble that pops. Once the bubble pops, then there's the correction, and then we go up. You can't have a bull market without a bear market. And most people don't understand that. They just think it's, oh, okay, well, we've been in a bull market. No, we haven't. We've been in a bear market. Everything's been going down. Oh, yeah, well, see, you know, like, yeah, the thing is like he has buddies and cronies that he has to help out. This is true. But also, if he doesn't, if he just lets the squeeze happen, if he doesn't issue shares, if he doesn't do these things to help his buddies out, they're going to be fucking pissed. The elite circle is very small. So I think he has to help out both sides. And, you know, either way, you can't be one side blaming him for everything and just pointing the finger. That's all I see everybody doing is pointing fingers, blaming, blaming, blaming. But you know what? The biggest short squeezes in history did not happen overnight, and it took longer than 2 years. It took longer than a year. It takes time, and it's very painful. It's extremely painful. Not to mention a squeeze. Fuck a squeeze. Any great corporation, Amazon, Tesla, McDonald's, all these companies, Domino's, they all start somewhere and it's always in debt, a lot of debt, and they accumulate more debt, but they have to get more successful and build on it, and that's just the way the world works. I don't understand why people want to shit on AMC for, you know, it doesn't matter. What about all the synthetics and all these shares that were out there that were made? You guys don't understand. They have to do some of this stuff to cover for that. It's both sides, but it's not let's blame them and it happens. The illegal and the manipulation is not going to stop. It's not. But you know what is going to stop and what's going to get broken it down and split up? The community, because we can't agree on anything. We can't agree that there's a bigger cause. No, we can't, because you guys can't even get together for a freaking protest. Like, that's the thing about the AMC community. It'll always be broken up and split up, and people know more than everybody else, and it's always blame game. When in reality, there's people that are in it, that believe it, that are holding it, and there's people that really aren't, that are talking about it, and they'll be on the outside talking about it the whole time, and they'll make you believe that they were in it with you when they really weren't. So there's real people, there's fake people, there's fudsters, and then Adam Aaron is a suit. He is a suit. He has to do his job. So, I mean, it should not, in the end, it shouldn't persuade you to sell your shares, to get out, and to not believe about something. That's just the bottom line. It takes time. This shit does not happen overnight. But it's looking a lot better now. I've been here. I've been in the market for a couple years now. But I don't pretend to know more than everybody else. But I know when things are looking really, really juicy and when something's about to explode or pop, like, oh, what happened to us going down to $5? Why didn't that happen today? Like, that's what I'm saying. But those same people that if we had a red day today, if AMC went down again today, watch tomorrow. If it goes down again tomorrow, that's what they're gonna say. See, told you it was going down to $5. I told you. It's the same scenario. It's the same stuff. What do you think we close? Oh, you mean like? I mean, I think we're pretty much there. I don't think it's gonna move any further than 7.65. I mean, it might go down to like 750, but I think that's where they pretty much wanted us. They brought us down to 750, right? Almost close to 750, right there at 4 o'clock. Are we close? I think that this is the beginning of a turnaround. That's what I really do believe. I don't know if this thing's gonna squeeze and pop to freaking $50, $100, what everybody wants. But there's people out there, and I'm not gonna name drop, but they're making videos about GameStop going to $1,000 a share. And now listen, I'm very bullish on GameStop as well. I think it's really cheap right now, but $1,000 is ridiculous. But they will blame other people making AMC videos and say, hey, they're pumping AMC, that like AMC's nothing, it's going to nowhere, it's nothing, but you're just gonna lose your money. Like, it's always all negative when it comes to AMC. And when you talk positive about AMC, you don't know anything. So yeah, I think this is a turnaround. I think this is a big turnaround because of that. And it's been that way for a while now. It's like if you mention AMC, you're not a real investor. You don't know what you're talking about. The fundamentals. When has fundamentals ever mattered? No, seriously, it's never mattered. It's never mattered before. Why does it matter now that AMC's reducing their debt, that they actually are looking better? That's why people are talking about acquisitions, because AMC's looking good. It's looking better, and it's looking better every year and every quarter. And we might be profitable this quarter, and that's scary. So we're going to throw out stories that they're going to get acquired by Disney. That is so insane, bro. Disney can't even control their parks. Why would they buy a movie theater chain, the biggest one in the world? That's what I'm saying, bro. Phil Biggums, Marcel, I think Biggums is like, he does his own thing. Um, but they get into these arguments with each other and they blame each other. They like, they have like these spats, and it doesn't matter. Like, if you're bullish on AMC, if you believe in the company, great. But if you have like anything negative, I don't know. That's just how I am. I'm a Virgo, bro. Like, so I can't really be, and I'm a bull. Like, I'm bull to the core. If I believe in something, I believe in it. But I'm honest about it too. I can be negative about it, but I don't understand like just beating all that the negativity into people. And listen, the truth of the matter. Here's the truth that people really want to think about. The truth is that it takes time to invest in a company. Tesla did not become great overnight. Amazon didn't become great in a couple years. It took years and years and years and years. And the fact is that if you invest too early, you might not make money. You might lose money. That's just the fact of the matter. If you invest too late, you might not make money. I mean, you just might not, because maybe they did go bankrupt, this company that I'm talking about. But if you believe in it, you're going to be there at the right time whenever it's best for you, because that's how you should trade. You should be getting into companies at the right time whenever it's showing momentum, an upward swing, like today, like how AMC, it's like, it's a dead horse. Everybody's beating it. Well, eventually, companies turn around. They do. Look at Nikola, right? Or not, Workhorse. WKHS ticker symbol. Go check it. They just had they just had good news come out with Workhorse. They're up like 30% right now. I mean, I don't disagree with that. And a lot of people are going to bring up, oh, well, the 40 million shares. I hate to break it to you guys. There's over 250 million shares that he can sell. Doesn't mean he sold them or he's going to sell them tomorrow. Like, he's had the option to sell more than 40 million shares for a while now. So, and then there's news today that he sold them on some off market or something. It's just like always negative news, when in reality, you know, companies and CEOs sell shares at the top whenever it's a best time for them to sell. Like, whenever it's a good value, they're gonna sell shares. This happens. So, I mean, I see both sides of it, but I don't get like the whole narrative of like he's an evil guy. And if he's so evil and he's done so many bad things, then guess what? This is what investigations are for. This is what lawsuits are for. It is America. So me, anybody, but that's the point, is that we can't even hold a protest. What makes you think that anybody's going to sue Adam Aaron or take him to court? Nobody. So that's my point, is that like, that's why we'll never see a squeeze, because we all run for the hills. We all get scared. We all blame each other. We'll blame it's the blame game. It's never, it's hodl for a little while, but if it don't happen, I'm going to get in my feelings and blame everybody just because it didn't happen in a couple years. I hate to break it to you. It takes more than a couple years sometimes. It does. And it takes a lot of people, blood, sweat, and tears, and people losing money for other people to make money. That's how the market works. It's not fair. This is the big leagues. Like, people have to toughen up. Like, yes, we've all lost money. It sucks. There's manipulation. There's stuff that happens all the time. Take Virgin Galactic, for example. Great company. They're going to be a huge company. in the space industry. But every time something good happens, they do the same thing because Richard Branson needs money. He has to maintain a certain status. He is a billionaire. He's got to spend $1 billion to keep his billionaire status. So every time the company's doing good, they sell shares, or something mysteriously happens, or they're not on track for progress. So I mean, these things happen. It doesn't undermine the fundamentals of the stock, that actually AMC is reducing its debt. That people don't want to talk about that. People don't want to talk about that. McDonald's is $60 billion in debt. What about the other companies that are in debt? Huh? They're not making more than their debt. They're it's not just AMC, but people want to pick AMC. There's there's a ton of other stocks CEOs selling shares. That's just the fact of the matter. Look at Mullen. Mullen CEO does the same thing, but people don't want to they don't want to connect the dots. They just want to blame somebody. That's what I'm saying. That's why the AMC community is a joke. The community is a joke. And everybody thinks that the stock is a joke, but you have people that really do believe in it, that really have been here for a long time. And then you have people that are just here because they lost money and they're pissed off and they're looking for somebody to blame, and they'll never be positive about it. They'll always be negative. Y'all been doing that for years. Now it's time to start being positive about something. Like that play is old. The blame game, selling shares happens. Reverse splits happen. I'm sorry, it happens all the time. All the time. If you haven't been in the market for over a year, you probably don't know that. If you've been in the market for more than 2 to 3 years, then you've seen it happen. Same thing happened with Bed Bath and Beyond, but people won't say that. People won't say that. They'll just the same thing happened with Bed Bath and Beyond. You had a core shareholder group and people that believed in the stock, and then you had all these people that were negative that really didn't understand the company, and they have so much debt, they have so much debt. Well, I mean, it was true, and they were incompetent, and they did run the company into the ground, but it could have been different. It could have been a lot different, but they got destroyed by the shorts. They got destroyed by the hedge funds. And they could never raise their share price. They could never raise the money. That is the goal. They don't ever have to cover their shares if the company runs itself into the ground. If it does always go down, if AMC does go to $5, it'll be a different story. But see, everybody that was saying it was going to $5, when it don't go to $5, they're gonna have a different story. They're gonna have something else to blame about why it's not $200. We could get back to $10 this week, and it'll be negative. It'll be, oh no, well, that's just how it goes. But it'll keep going down. They'll keep losing money. When in reality, the balance sheets are looking better than ever. More people are going to the movies than ever. But we can't be positive about it. I agree with you. And I'll be honest with you about how I feel about AMC. I sold my shares a while ago, like for long term. And I've traded AMC ever since. But ever since, I've been able to recover some of my money, recover some of my lost money, and have more shares every single time I trade AMC. I'm able to sell it at a higher price than I bought it, and then whenever it drops back down, like everybody says, it's going down, 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 down. Well, why don't you have more shares? Why didn't you sell and then buy more if you knew that, if like you're so smart? But everybody's not. Everybody doesn't have hindsight. So now I have more shares than I've ever had, and I will buy more shares if it goes down. But I expect AMC to go up from here, and a lot of smart people do see it going up from here because this is like all-time lows, and it's a it's a pain point, and they don't want it to shoot all the way up. because they would have to cover and short a lot, but they have their levers and they have their connections like Adam Air. I mean, it's not a mystery that um, the stock market's not fair, but sometimes they can't stop the squeeze. That's also true. I want people to make money too. I want people to be good. But we have to know when something's undervalued. We have to know when something's overvalued. We have to have a little bit of hindsight of that. Yeah, he could sell more shares, but guess what? If he sells 40 million shares, guess what's going to happen? It's already priced in. It's already priced in. So if he sells 40 million shares, it'll be good for the stock and it won't be negative. But people just want to be negative. Like that's all people can be, and that's all people have to say. Because I've done nothing but lose money because you invested too early, or you sold your shares, or you didn't average down. Why didn't you average down? It's a personal decision at the end of the day when you invest in AMC, how you invest in it. If you invested in it when it was overvalued, that's your fault. If you invested in it when it was undervalued, great job. It's the big leagues. It's not fair. Things happen. CEOs sell a lot of shares. It's just how it goes. But you're not going to make me believe that Adam Aaron has sold more shares than most CEOs because it's just not true. You live right next to me. It's just not true. It's not even, it happens all the time. But we're going to argue about it and we're going to play the blame game. What happens if we have a green day tomorrow? What happens if we go up again tomorrow? Oh, that's just how it goes. They're just having their little time to shine. Yeah, it's going up, but it'll go down tomorrow. Yeah, you can come over. So that's how I feel about AMC. It's a split community. We can never agree on anything because the squeeze didn't happen for the majority of the people that got in too fucking late. I'm sorry, it was too late for you. You should have been there before they took away the buy button. You should have sold after they took away the buy button. That's your fault. It's also your fault that you didn't buy in whenever it was almost freaking under $7 and we go up to $8 tomorrow. You didn't average down. You could have. Okay. You have to know how to trade. It's just the simple fact of the matter. And then, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know you're joking. Um, there's a time to get into a stock, and there's a time to get out, and there's a time to just sit on the sidelines. I learned that about AMC. That's how you have to trade it. It's not always a long-term investment. It's not always best a diamond hand. Sometimes it's all right to cut your losses. I'm sorry, but it is. Get back in at a better time when you feel better about it, at a better price. If you believed in it, if you believe in holding it at the same amount of time, what's the difference? There's not much of a difference. You might sometimes even be better off doing that. Sometimes you can get more shares that way. Maybe you do have a little bit of extra money. You could sell, get out. You don't want to sell. Most people don't know when to sell anyways. That's why they didn't sell. That's why they're still holding, because they don't know when to sell. Well, I'll make it easy for you. You sell whenever it's overvalued. When you've had really good momentum to the upside, things are looking great, it's looking better than ever. Those are the days you want to sell. On the days where it's looking horrible and it's the worst day and we're at 52-week lows every single day, I would suggest buying into that company if you believe in it. then you'll start to see that there is upswings to stocks. There is a way to actually make money. Okay, it's not always the company that it's not always them. It's not there's manipulation. It's real. Holy shit, manipulation's real. Wow. So I can see like now looking at this chart that a lot of people got scared and they sold. Oh, okay, that's why the short interest dropped. Oh, okay, it's making a lot of sense now. That's the problem, is that a lot of people actually did sell and they don't want to admit it. A lot of people sold AMC. A lot of people aren't holding it. A lot of those people that saying they're holding the line, they're not holding the line. They don't actually have shares because the interest would be higher. Oh, okay. You're a shill if you say that. But it's okay to say AMC's going down to $5, $3, it's going down tomorrow. It's going to keep going down. Adam Aaron is the worst CEO ever. It's okay to say the stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. The community is so messed up. Like, you have people wanting to sue each other. And then you got Matt Kors coming out with a video talking about, I did say pump it, but I believed. Now, I don't care what happens to my shares. Yeah, I have shares. Come on, bro. You don't know, like you was preaching manipulation and fairness and all this kind of stuff, and now I'm not too sure about the company. It seems like it's Adam Aaron. He's even blaming Adam Aaron. That's how you know it's a fucking joke. When you got Matt Kors saying the same thing that everybody else is saying, it's a joke. It ain't real. They're getting paid to say it. They've got they've got an ultimatum to to just be negative on the stock. That's all it is. CEOs sell shares. I hate to break it to you guys. That's what happens. CEOs, companies have reverse splits. It's happened. I can't even tell you how many times I've been involved in a company that's had reverse split. Come on. Like, that's the thing, is that like people will say, well, AMC pre-reverse split. Nobody does that. Nobody in any other company talks about the price pre-split. Nobody. Not one company. Genius Brands. Did they do that? Do they do that? Go on Reddit and go into their community and see if they're talking about the price pre-split. Conversion to one, take away the five. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. They're focused on the future and the positive news. And all right, yeah, this sucks. It sucked for a while, but things are gonna get better. That's why nothing ever happens for you guys. That's why it's always negative, because it's you're hurt. You don't believe no more. Fine, you don't believe, you're hurt, you lost money. Move on. Go to something else. I don't get it. It's the blame game. It's that you have to be here, you have to be negative. We all lost money. You're not special. You might have lost more than me, but you also lost hope. I didn't lose hope. Maybe I had hope the whole time, just got out, got back in whenever it was a more smart, better idea to be involved. You don't have to, every fight is not yours. Sometimes you got to back down and let other investors take a hit and be like, oh, okay, y'all go ahead and be in this right now. I don't think it's a good time. There's good times to be involved in a stock, and there's bad times. That's just the fact of the matter. And people don't want to admit it when it comes to AMC. It's always bad. It's the worst. It's the end of the world. Adam Aaron's the worst. They don't do anything but lose money, blah, 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 blah. The fact is, 90% of the corporations in America are in debt, and they all don't make more than their debt. They all make less in revenue than their debt. That's the truth. But people won't argue that. GameStop's better because they don't have debt. They do have debt. Everybody has debt. And if they're telling you that they don't have debt, they're an idiot. Because everybody has debt. It might not be much, but they have debt. That's where the narrative gets twisted. That's where the narrative gets, I know more than you. when in reality, there's so much information and there's so much manipulation and things going on behind the scenes. There's no one person that can know it all. Anytime I talk good about AMC, anytime I talk positive about AMC, it's, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. They're in debt. It's never, you got, nobody ever actually has a valid argument. It's, they insult your intelligence. If you tell somebody you're invested in AMC, they laugh at you. It's not a real investment. They've turned it into a joke, and people are encouraging it. Investors that are hurt are encouraging it. Investors that really aren't investors anymore, old investors, encourage it. It's a vicious cycle of what the majority is doing. You got to be with the majority. You got to make fun of AMC. You got to oust the CEO because he's such a bad guy. All that does is get everybody going against everybody. It doesn't get us in a movement. It doesn't make us stronger. There's no such thing anymore. And that's why. Because everybody knows more than everybody else. It's on to the next play. And that's really, over the past couple years, that's what's happened. It's all the different plays, all the different stocks. Hey, don't be an AMC, come over here, do this one, because this is what's going to be the next squeeze. Everybody does that. And so that's what everybody does now. And it's beat up on AMC. AMC is the little stepchild. It's the redheaded stepchild. Well, what's going to be funny is that, like, one day when AMC does pop 100% out of freaking nowhere, it's going to be a whole lot of I told you so's and, oh yeah, see, that's what happens. Yeah, well, it's over now. No, nothing to see here, nothing to talk about. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy that happened. That's what they're all going to be saying. Yeah, that's crazy, but you know, they weren't talking about it. They were playing the blame game the whole time. What happens when they sell 40 million shares and the stock goes up and the debt goes down? What happens then? I hate to break it to you guys, but the debt has been going down to the tune of $365 million this year. Yeah, that's not a lot. Well, it's like quadruple the amount of uh, debt that GameStop even has. So it is a lot. It is a lot. And GameStop's not without their faults. They've got a lot to figure out. AMC doesn't have as much to figure out. They just need things to go right. And then if they do figure out something else, like another major artist to show movies in their theaters, can you imagine if Bad Bunny does that? Or Beyonce? Or any of the the biggest stars in the world? All we need is like one or two more, and then it becomes AMC Entertainment. Oh, I forgot about the entertainment part. That's right. Huh. Now it's like an amusement park. So you mean, like, we've been able to, like, rent the theaters out. Now we could rent it out and do football games and NFL Sunday Ticket, and people are not really thinking that there's a whole future lineup for AMC and things that they can do. And it'd be real easy versus GameStop or somebody else that's got to change a lot to do a little bit. AMC's already invested into the theaters that they're so in debt over. Yeah, it's a huge investment. That's how you make investments in the real world. You have to go in debt. When you buy a house, you have to go in debt. Everybody knows these really simple things, but they're going to blame AMC and say, oh, well, they're in too much debt, blah, 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 blah. There is no such thing as too much debt. It's not even a thing. America's in too much debt. Is America gonna go bankrupt too? Well, if that happens, we're all screwed. And I hate to break it to you guys, but if AMC goes bankrupt, we're all screwed. So it's not gonna happen. That's just my opinion. I'm not your financial advisor and I'm not your daddy, but I love popcorn and bananas are good. Another thing that kills me about the AMC haters, it's why are you talking about AMC? How do you can't be possibly making another AMC video today? Well, I get it for the people that have nothing good to say or nothing interesting to say about it. That makes sense. There's actually a lot of interesting things to talk about when you talk about AMC. And yes, I do believe that people should be making videos every single day. You should be talking about AMC every day and looking at it every single day because it is different every single day. We are inching closer and closer and closer to a higher volume that somebody negative would tell you, oh, well, that's just an increase in volume. That's just because they sold more shares. No, it's because they sold more shares, maybe, hypothetically. They shorted more shares, people bought more shares, and normal people sold shares. That's how the market works. There is supply and demand. But either way, 2 years ago, which a lot of people were not here 2 years ago, so they can't look at the chart and be like, this looks a little similar. I promise you that it's looking a whole lot similar it's looking very similar than how it looked 2 years ago. Very similar. In volume and the way you look at the chart. That's why I've been up the past 3, 4, the past week thereabout, because I can't sleep anymore. Because now the BS is at an all-time high, and we all know the BS is at an all-time. That's why I'm live right now, because the bull crap is way up here, and when you have all this doubt, disbelief, I've lost money, wah wah wah, we get it. We've all lost money. When you have it where it's all time, nobody believes in this freaking company no more. It seems like that's when I start buying shares. That's when I start becoming interested, more interested than when I was. Yeah, it's been going down for a long time, but that's how squeezes happen. And they don't always go up. And people lose money along the way. But at some point, some people make a lot of money. And those are the people that actually believed and actually watched the charts most of the time. I feel like 90% of the people that invest in AMC or meme stocks, whatever, they'll buy it and hold it. And, that's great, whatever for, if you're long term. But when the squeeze happens, you might not be watching it. When the actual run up happens, you you might be at work. You might be, focused on something else. So to that, I say have an idea of where you're at, your price target, where it could go. Then you can't complain about, oh, I never made money. Oh, it never goes up for me. Well, why haven't you been making money? Why haven't you been trading it? If you're diamond hands, you hold long term, then that makes sense. But that's also why you lost a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? If you hold in this thing, you might not know when the squeeze is hot. You might not see it on the way down. You might not see it on the way up. So what are you complaining about? What are those people complaining about? You can't be invested in something and never watch it and then complain about that you lost a bunch of money. Well, I mean, that's just a lesson learned. You lost a bunch of money. You had every opportunity to turn around, invest whenever it was cheap. And if you did that pre-split, I'm sorry. It wasn't a good idea and you probably learned a lesson. But it doesn't mean that people are buying now at these low levels of $7. It doesn't mean that they're not right about it being as cheap as it's ever been, which is true. I think everybody's right. Everybody has a good point, but we all blame each other and we all know more than each other. And it's divisive, man. That's how the world is now. It's divisive. Everybody's opinion matters more. I want to thank y'all for the likes. I want to thank y'all for the comments. And if you subscribed, I appreciate you because it's been hard to get the videos out. People do not want to hear about AMC. They don't want to talk about AMC. And that's just where we're at. That's why there's so much hatred in the industry, as Dr. Dre used to say. Because nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's in their feelings about it. In reality, Most people just don't know how to trade AMC. They don't know when to get in, they don't know when to get out. Um, and yeah, shares are going to drop. Shares are going to drop. But I don't think the price is going to be dropping with it. I just don't see it happening this time because I think it could be good news. I think there's too much good news coming, and haters are gonna hate, man. That's just how it is. Haters gonna hate, and they don't want to see you talk good about anything. They don't, that they missed out on or might miss out on or didn't take advantage of. That's just true. People that aren't going on vacation don't want to hear about you going on vacation. They don't want to hear about your XRP. You know why they don't want to hear about your XRP? Because they probably didn't make money on it and they probably didn't invest in it. They don't have an investment in XRP, so they don't want to talk about it. They either been hurt about it, they don't believe, or they've been hurt by something else that makes them not believe. But they're negative about it for some reason, for no reason, actually. That's how people are with AMC. That's all it is. It's I've been hurt and it's a bad investment and I know more than you. That's all it is, man. When in actual reality, hey, the only way to do that is to study the market. I promise you, you got to study the market, man. You got to say, hey, all right, now's not a good time to be in this, not just AMC, anything and everything. XRP has its ups and downs. GME has its ups and downs. Crypto has its ups and downs. They all have their ups and downs. But stocks don't go down forever. They just don't. I mean, that's why you are seeing a bounce in AMC. Oh, that's just for today. Well, we'll see tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens by the end of this week. We'll see if we don't get back to $9. We'll see if we don't hit $10 next week. Oh, that's just, oh well. It'll keep going down. Can't be negative about a good thing. You just can't. The AMC community was always small. It was always small. Now the financial institutions own more shares of AMC, and they're going to benefit from owning and buying more through all these dips because they have the money to lose money now and make money later. Normal people don't have money like that. They can't tie up their money for that long. But normal people also aren't going to understand that aspect. They don't get it. Oh yeah, they can't do that for 2 years. Yeah, they can. They can buy up shares for 2 years and years and years, and they can short it at the same time and still beat you because you'll give up. You'll sell your shares. And that's what everybody did. Everybody has sold their shares in AMC and they just want to talk bad about it. And I lost money. That's all it is now. That's all it's going to be until AMC proves people wrong. We have another pump. And you already start seeing people that were negative about AMC. They're saying it. They're saying, you go to their videos and watch their videos, and it's like, oh yeah, it's happening, but it's just temporary. It's just temporary. Well, you'll be temporarily asked out. You'll be temporarily not in the play because it kind of sounds like you never were. It's just funny to me, man. I don't have my light on here, so I'll just pop this one back on. We'll go through some, I'm not going to go through any more numbers today. It's just the BS, man. It's just, if you don't believe in the stock, then move on. Go to something else. Yeah, what about Chipotle? I don't even know what Chipotle's debt is because I'm not doing numbers. Oh, here's more numbers for you. Chipotle can be almost $2,000 a share, is what some people are thinking. So, Joe Lou, why you happy? You here to troll, man? I know, you here to troll. Refinitiv upgrades AMC Entertainment Holdings. That's what y'all gonna find out this year. Y'all gonna find out this year that AMC has two names, and it's AMC Entertainment. Just because it hasn't been entertaining you and you haven't been making money on it, just means you haven't been trading it right. You haven't been in it at the right time. That's okay. That's all right. All right, I'm probably gonna end the stream because nobody else is in here, so we'll probably get on later or tomorrow morning. Thank y'all.